Okay, we are live. We're live. Hello, everyone. Hello, people. How are you doing today? I am your host, Myra Maimoh, as usual. And Wednesdays are usually our special days. If you have been following the page, these are our enrichment days, especially when it comes to business. We want to find out what our amazing entrepreneurs are doing on the ground, what their secrets are, how they can help us in our journey as well, but also just be encouraged by what they're doing. You know, it's very easy to think that you only need to get resources from books. Usually it's easier to get it from people who are living out these experiences on a daily basis. So you may be stuck with a problem and you don't know that the very next door has an entrepreneur who has a solution for your problem. So it helps to really learn, celebrate those who are doing amazing things, but also learn from them. And we have one of those people today. Her name is Vanessa Bejanga, and she is a health and wellness coach, but she's also an entrepreneur. She owns a food business. She's doing amazing things, and we really want to find out what pushed her towards this, what made her choose this line of business, and most importantly, what is her secret to her success in Cameroon. And we also want to find out what her plans are. So stay on and get schooled in business. So I'm going to welcome her. Welcome, Vanessa. Thank you so much for making time for us today. It's an honor having you. And when I heard what you do, I'm talking about the food business part, I was just like, yeah, I can see that. I can totally see that making lots of money in Cameroon, because I don't want to say anything first. You will do the introductions and you tell them what you do. But the line of work, a lot of the times we sit and we say, oh, I cannot do this kind of thing. I cannot do that kind of thing. Meanwhile, those are the kind of things that we consume and we pay for every day on a daily basis. And so there's this confusion that comes. I don't know if it's pride or if it's, I don't know what it is. But we have a lot of that in Cameroon, where people sit and say, oh, this, oh, that. It has to be a job where I'm sitting in an office and I'm backing orders at people, really ignoring the problems that can be solved happening right in front of them. You know, and you took advantage of all of that. Please tell us more about who you are, the multiple hats that you wear, and then we'll go into the business part later.
All right. Thank you very much once more for this opportunity. I'm Vanessa Bejanga. I'm a wellness coach and I'm an entrepreneur as well. And I own a snail house, which is a restaurant which sells only snails and natural juice.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So why only snails? Why did you decide to put yourself in that niche?
Okay. All right. I decided to push myself to that niche because it is attached to my vision. It's attached to what I do. And I do basically something on the healthy eating and healthy drinking, because that has to do with wellness of the body. Yeah. So when I looked around, I was like, every other person is selling every other thing. So I need to look for something which is healthy, which everybody is not selling. And that's how I went for selling snails.
That's amazing. That's amazing, because a lot of the times when people want to branch out into business, we look around. I'm speaking from experience, from looking at what other business people did around me. And that was like, if a business is successful, everybody wants to copy that business.
Exactly.
And then before you know it, that same business is everywhere. And the food is mediocre because one, they're just copying, they don't really care. They don't have a passion for that. And
Yeah.
I love the fact that you picked something that was unique and tied it with your vision.
Yeah.
So
Because
what
a lot,
makes, yes, go ahead.
all right, because a lot of times when we want to do business, we probably think that it's about going to the side where it's making more news.
Yeah.
Like, for example, you see a lot of people say that they want to do food business because in their minds, food business is 100% gain. And they are not looking at the fact that they can actually be solving a particular problem when it comes to doing whatever food business they want to do. So, but when I looked at all of these, I was like, there is a particular problem that I want to solve. And in trying to solve my problem, which is basically on obesity and weight gain, I decided to go in for these amazing snail meats that actually you can eat at any time and is 0 calorie free. So that's how I landed into the snail business.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And you own a farm. I grew up, especially, I'm just growing up in the Northwest, we don't really do snails as much.
Yeah.
We don't do snails as much. So normally when we see snails, we'll be like, ew, like this is like, ah. And then a lot of what happens is when the kids leave the Northwest and they go to Boya, for example, for university. And then that's when they really start experiencing snails for the first time, because most of Northwestern mothers will be like, no, that's not getting into my pot. And I have tried it. Growing up in the Northwest, I never ever ate snails until I actually found myself living here. And my husband, who loves snails, he grew up in Boya. And he was like, we need to try this. I am always willing to try. And I tried it. I was just like, and I think I like this. I think I like this. But the truth of the matter is, there's a huge demand for snails in Cameroon, not only for families, but also for street food, for street vendors.
Exactly.
And
That's
you can't keep on waiting for people to go forage and bring. At some point, if you want to do it on a mass scale, you have to get your own farm. So tell us all about this. Like, how did you start? How long did it take you to establish the farm? And do you cook? Do you harvest from the farm and then use it in your business as well?
okay. All right. I started first of all by buying. When I decided to launch into the snail business, the first thing I did was I had to go looking for snails in every market right here in Yaoundé, and I found the snails at Fundi. That was my first attempt. So in when I began the business, I started getting it first of all from market women who were based in Fundi. But most often we had this difficulty of the ladies not always wanting to probably supply at the normal price which they were supposed to supply. Then I moved from one supplier to a second supplier who actually was doing really great until she began to also complain about the scarcity. And then I tried also getting the snails from Boya. I contacted someone in Boya who also sent the snails to me, and I was still not satisfied because when I finish cooking these snails and I have to serve my clients, there is actually a huge satisfaction at the level of that the snails are good, but a lot of people kept on complaining that no, it's small, it's small. And then I told myself that, okay, why don't we try rearing snails? Why don't we try to establish a farm and do some snail work and see how it goes? And then we did a first attempt. We went and we had a land where we built 7 tents of snails, and then we bought some live snails from different places. We put them in. And I must tell you that the experience, it is pretty hard. Like, because we didn't learn it from anywhere. We kept on studying, looking at documentaries online, trying to figure out how these snails can be able to survive, what snails actually eat, when they give birth, how do they function. And all of that was a whole ordeal on its own. But then we realized that in the months where we were rearing the snails, we were actually getting a lot of good results because the snails were actually faring well. In doing the snail farming, when we built our 7 tents, we learned a lot of better tricks or a lot of better techniques on how to raise snails in the trial. And also we learned from a lot of mistakes, like maybe some people always feel that snails have to eat dirty food. Like they have to eat dirty leftover and everything, but that was not the case. We later on discovered that snails do not eat dirty food, in spite of the fact that you might find them in very uncomfortable environments. They are very, very clean. Like they don't like to eat dirty things. That is to say that if you give a snail maybe pawpaw and the leftover of that pawpaw, he didn't finish it. The next day, he's not going to touch that pawpaw anymore because once it gets rotten, it gets rotten. So they don't feed on rotten food like we think. So we learned a lot about how snails actually could be nurtured, how they could be able to give birth to their own children. And amazingly, we found out that when snails do not have food, they actually feed on themselves. Like they eat each other. They eat each other. We also found out that when they are being touched by flies, they easily die. So in trying to rear the snails, we learned a lot of things. But then we had some snails that came out from our venture. And then when there was periods of scarcity, we had to take them out because we had to use the snails. So that's how we got to having tens of snails and trying to learn by ourselves on how we could be able to rear these snails.
That is so cool. That is so cool. I just want to highlight something here, that you didn't wait until you had all the information before starting, because a lot of the times that's what some of us do. We just sit and say, okay, I don't have this now. I don't have this. I'm not an expert in this. I'm not an expert in that. And so I'm going to wait until I have all of these things to start. And that's what makes you different. That's what makes you completely innovative too, because you were like, I am going to do this. I know what my problems are on the ground with my supply chain. There's no harm in starting, and I'm going to start out and learn as I go.
That's it.
That is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
And are you able to supply other people?
Yeah, I'm able to supply, I'm not able to still supply people on a larger scale because I'm still trying to figure out how to do this on a very large scale. But how I get my supply for snails, I have a lot of suppliers who still give me snails, while I can say that I'm 50% done with my learning process, because in trying to raise snails, there are a lot of things that I realized and which are very helpful to you trying to rear these snails without any losses. Because in as much as the business is very lucrative, you're going to realize that if you want to do it on a large scale, you have to be able to master all these techniques that are going to keep the snails alive. Imagine you having like 4,000 snails, and one morning you come and 3,000 are dead. What do you do? So I can say that 50%, I'm still in my learning process of how to be able to nurture these snails properly. And when I'm done with my learning process, then I think that I'll be able to supply to a lot more people as possible.
That's amazing. Good for you, sister. Go get it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You start off being the one asking from suppliers, and then you end up supplying and still doing all the things that you wanted to do. That is a huge leap, and that is just amazing. Definitely something people can learn from. I am learning from. So tell us more about your wellness and health coaching business. Like, okay, let me put it out there first. So I have this little issue with my belly, because I work out from time to time, but I'm a foodie. I love cooking. I love eating. I love food. And when I sit and after I'm done with work, or during work, while I'm working, I sit and I imagine things. I just think about food the whole time because I love food. And unfortunately, I have this little pouch that shows for that. So
Yeah.
what kind of advice would you give someone like me who eats a lot and probably maybe a slow metabolism
Yeah.
because I
Okay.
eat a lot?
Okay. All right. First of all, one thing that I would like you to know is that loving food is not a bad thing. Loving food is not a bad thing. I mean, you need food to actually live properly because
Yeah.
your cells need to be well nourished so that you can live longer. So
Yeah.
loving food is not a bad thing. But then eating a lot, that's where we are going to focus. Now, I don't know your context of you saying that you eat a lot. When you say eating a lot, can you just, let me throw back this question to you.
Mhm.
Can you just give me a briefing of how you define your eating a lot? Like, do you
Well,
eat your meals? Do you eat two
yeah.
plates of at once, at a go or so?
No, I don't have that kind of, I'm more of a snacker. So I normally have like one big meal, but throughout the day, I snack here and there. Um, I pass by especially now that I'm working from home, I pass by my pantry and I see those nuts. They're like shining like, yeah, and I have to take some. And then I go somewhere, pass by the fridge, and then there are some snacks there, and I will grab them just like that, little things here and there. But at the end of the day, they show up. It's just like you have to look at it's calorie in and calorie out.
Right.
And so my balance, when I look at it, it's like I might not eat huge plates from time to time, but I snack quite some, and that
Okay.
adds up.
All right. Okay. So when we talk about eating a lot, just like you've explained, one of the things that is going to help you to stop the over snacking is that you're going to learn how to respect your food timings and eat the appropriate meals at the right time. Now, the breakfast is the most important meal of the day. People who usually do not eat breakfast are always snacking in between their meals. Like someone might eat get up in the morning and just grab one apple and they're gone. By 10 o'clock, when they see a pot of eggs passing, they're like, oh, I'm not eating. Why? Because they did not sit down properly to eat like a king. Nutrition tells you that you have to be able to take your breakfast like a king, and then you take your lunch like a prince, and you take your dinner like a servant. So if you look at that phrase, it simply means that you should eat breakfast properly, eat your lunch properly, and in the evening, you can just have lighter food. Now, when you have your 3 square meals per day, you can be able to snack, but the way you snack is going to be reduced. You're not going to be snacking just like you snack, just like you explained.
Yeah.
For example, if you get up in the morning and you eat your breakfast, let me say you have your bread, your eggs, a cup of milk, and then you have maybe some fruits, I can tell you that you're going to realize that you'll be feeling hungry only around like 1 or 2. Yeah. And when you get your lunch, it will be very, your snacking will be very minimal. So by the time you're getting to eating your supper, you might be snacking, but you're not going to be snacking as much as you would have been doing if you had not eaten at the right food times. So in the morning, you have to take breakfast from in between 7 to 9. In the afternoon, your lunch is from 12 to 2 or 3 p.m. if you must extend it. And then in the evening periods, you have your dinner at 6 or from 6 to 8 p.m. That is going to help you to be able to regulate the place of overeating.
Yeah, that's great advice. That's great advice. I love it. So I have gotten into intermittent fasting, and so I don't eat now. I try to stay away from eating. I don't eat till like 2, sometimes even 4. But if I have work, so that would be like my only big meal actually. If I work late, which obviously means that I'm staying awake, that whole night period becomes my time. I just yeah, I get that. That's when I really start getting hungry. And I know if I was sleeping, then the intermittent fasting would have helped me.
Yeah,
But because I'm up working late, I start snacking
yeah,
here
that's
and
true.
there because I still feel like I'm not full.
Yeah.
So,
And
is there any advice you can give people who are doing intermittent fasting and their
okay,
working hours are a little weird? How do
okay.
they find the balance?
All right. Okay. Now, for people who are doing intermittent fasting, like a coach, normally I do not agree so much with intermittent fasting. Why don't I agree with intermittent fasting? When you want to stay fit, because the whole idea of doing all of what you're doing is because you want to stay fit and healthy.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's now when you're trying to stay fit and healthy, the first thing you must do is that you must be able to grab the techniques that are sustainable.
Mm.
Now, what are the things that you can do that can sustain you for a lifetime? I don't know how many people doing intermittent fasting can actually keep eating at that particular time all throughout their lives.
Mm.
Like you see people say, okay, I'm going to eat only at 2, and then maybe I eat just twice a day. So the whole
Yeah.
morning and afternoon, maybe I get my lunch like 2, and in the evening, maybe I get my supper. Now the question is this: how long can you be able to sustain? Now it's about you developing behavioral patterns.
Mm.
It's about you developing new routines. And if
Mm.
you must develop a routine, the routine you must be able to develop is the one which can be adapted or adopted to you like a lifestyle. So
Yeah.
when you get into intermittent fasting, it might help you for a period of time. I call it a quick fix. It's momentary. Now you get all the benefits for a momentary period of time.
Mm.
And once you stop doing the intermittent fasting, you're going to realize that you're going to go back to all your old habits simply
Mm.
because intermittent fasting was not wired to become an entire lifestyle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the reason why when you're doing intermittent fasting, just put in your mind that it is for a period of time. There's
Mm.
nobody who can say that they're going to skip food for like 80 years every morning.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I've not seen anybody who says that they can be able to skip, okay, I'm going to live for 80 years and all my 80 years from now on, I don't eat from morning till 2 p.m. Wow, that's a
Mm.
hard one. It
Yeah.
is very, very difficult for you to adopt that kind of
Yeah.
lifestyle. But
Yeah.
if you have a lifestyle where you realize that you can eat your meals at the right time, it's going to be very helpful to you. So to everyone who is doing intermittent fasting, one of the ways that you can do this and really succeed is that you don't need to do it for a long period of time. You can
Mm.
always say, okay, I'm going to do intermittent fasting for 2 weeks, and then I go back to doing maybe my normal way of eating, and then I go back, and you just
Mm.
have to do the swiping all the time.
Yeah.
The same thing like that. One day you're going to fall, and when you fall, you're not like to get back there. That's the truth.
Oh yeah, I've fallen quite often. That I know what you're talking about.
It's all
So
right.
the, yeah, so one other question for you. Do you have any products that would help people on their weight loss journeys? Because I definitely need something for my belly. I definitely need something. And it does for me, no matter how much I work out, I feel like after giving birth to my third child, it's just really hard to get rid of that little pouch of. So
Yeah.
do you have any products that will take care of stuff like that, or other weight management, maybe tablets or anything like that that people can buy from you?
All right. Okay. I always recommend these 3 things. I always recommend healthy eating,
Mm-hmm.
healthy drinking, and exercise. Now, when we talk about healthy eating, I think that you've asked already most of the questions that have to do with healthy eating.
Mm.
And under healthy eating, you have to understand that you're not doing starvation. It's not about you starving yourself.
Yeah.
It's about you eating your food in the right portions and eating all the classes of food, because a lot of people dodge eating some particular classes of food,
Mm.
and then to them, they are eating healthy. Or you find people eating 12 bowls of fruits. It's not a hyperbole.
Mm.
12 bowls of fruits,
Yeah.
yeah, and feeling that they are actually eating healthy, but they are undermining the sugar content that is found in these bowls of fruit. So healthy eating is just about you actually eating all the classes of food in their right amounts and proportions, which are going to be able to nourish your body properly. And when we talk about that, we are talking about looking at those three principles: the principle of quality, the principle of quantity, and the principle of frequency. Now, with the principle of quality, what's the quality of your food? What are you actually eating? Are you eating fats every day and not eating proteins? Are you eating proteins every day and not eating maybe carbohydrates? Or are you excluding carbohydrates from your diet exclusively and telling yourself that you have to feed only on protein and fat? We are talking about quality, and quality entails those different classes. It entails the carbohydrates, the fats, the vitamins, the minerals, and every other thing, even fiber that is supposed to be found in your plate. Now, we go to the second principle, which is the principle of quantity. What is the quantity of what you are eating? Are you eating?
This big.
Yeah. So are you eating 2 plates of food at the same time and telling yourself that, okay, because I'm eating just vegetables, I have the right to eat 2 plates of the food? Now, you can be eating only vegetables, but you're still going to get a lot of weight. Why? Because you're not eating the right quantity. There is a right quantity that your body needs. So overweight is being caused by the fact that you're putting in more of what your body can absorb at that particular moment and use as energy. So the quality of your food is actually going to matter. Just like I was taking an example of people who say fruits. I'm using the example of fruits because we have the ideology that fruits are healthy. But most often, when we go to eat this fruit, you find people, I've seen people say they are eating 20 mangoes. And I'm like, wow, 20 mangoes at a go. A lot of sugar in it, and many other things could go wrong in your system just because you've eaten more than the amount of fruits that your body needs per time. Now we go to the principle of frequency. When you talk about frequency, how often do you eat what? When you want to stay fit and healthy, it doesn't mean you should not eat ice cream. I eat ice cream and I eat every other thing, but I have a frequency at which I eat those things. Things like meat. What's the frequency at which you eat meat? If you're a meat eater and you eat meat 7 on 7, and every day you have at least 4 pieces of meat, my advice to you is that you can start trimming it to 3 pieces of meat per day and going down to 2 after like 1 month and going down to 1. And before you know it, meat doesn't really mean anything to you. So you put yourself on a regular scale every month. At some point in time, you're going to discover that this thing really does not mean anything to me. I can stay without me eating this meat. Now, people who love to eat things like chocolates, biscuits, ice cream, and things that have a lot of sugar, because sugar is actually the #1 cause for excessive weight gain. Of course, we already have sugar in all our foods that we eat, our yams, our sweet potatoes, our tomatoes, and every other thing. Even our vegetables have sugar. Then now you go and take food that has been processed, the chocolates, the biscuits, and everything, and then you add up to it, and then it gives you another level of sugar that enters into your body. But now we are not saying don't eat those things. What is the frequency at which you eat all of those things? Now I can have my chocolates, but if I'm a chocolate eater and I love to eat chocolates every day or every evening, I'm going to tell myself if I used to eat 1 big packet of chocolate, I'm going to start cutting it in steps and saying today I'm going to just take 3 steps. Tomorrow I'm going to take 2. And by the time you're doing that for 1 month, you are going to realize that your conscious effort to actually reduce your chocolate intake is actually going to guarantee you a lot of results. By the time you get to 1 month, you realize that it doesn't mean anything to you. You're like, I can stay for 1 month without eating chocolate. Like me, for example, there are times I can stay without drinking our normal drinks that we have in our stores. There are months I don't drink at all. I realize that I'm only around water or maybe natural juice. And sometimes even the natural juice, I don't drink it, but I didn't start at a goal. It started from somewhere. At some point in time, I told myself, okay, this month I'm not going to drink this. This month I'm not going to do this. And then I got stuck only on drinking water. And over time, it has helped me because I look at every other drink, they really don't mean anything to me. I could spend a whole week without having a sweet drink. I could spend 2 weeks without having a sweet drink. Why? Because I've been able to train myself little by little by following this principle of frequency that has greatly been of help to me. Now, those are the three principles when you talk about healthy eating. Now, I also propose healthy drinking. When we talk about healthy drinking, we are talking about the natural products that you actually take if you want to remedy your overweight situation or a protruding belly or an obesity situation. Now, drinking healthy medication or drinking healthy products is what's going to help you. A lot of us need to understand that if you must lose weight, there are two different kinds of obesity products in the market, anti-obesity products or two different kinds of overweight products in the market. Let me put it that way. Then those two different kinds have a different way of affecting you and working with you. You have the products that interfere with the bloodstream, and you have the products that do not interfere with the bloodstream. Now, when you have products that you're taking that interfere with your bloodstream, they go a long way to tamper with your brain. And then when you stop taking these products, you realize that you go back to your size, and it gives you what we call in nutrition the yo-yo effect. Because the product has tampered with your bloodstream and it is working in accordance with your brain. So because it's working in accordance with your brain, each time you're taking it, there is a signal in your body that that substance which has entered our body, we need to respect it because it wants us to behave in a particular way. So that's why you find a lot of people are going to lose weight, and after some time, they regain back all the weight that they have lost simply because the products they were taking were actually affecting their brains and their bloodstream. Now, there's a second class of products that are called the all-natural products, and these products have no effect on your brain or your bloodstream. They are not there to excite your system. They are not there to force your system to go out of their way, but such products are there to actually help you to tackle the underlying causes of weight gain. And this is where I'm going to come to now, talking about the products that I offer. I have these two amazing products that I offer. One, I have a detox product, which I use, and I also have my all-natural tea produced by Health Warriors, produced by me. We produce the products by ourselves. The detox product is actually a combination of polyphenols and fiber that have been put together to help people to detoxify their systems and cleanse them from intestinal sludge. Now, you just told me right here that you have a protruding stomach, probably because of the baby weight. And you might be shocked to know that if you're using a detox product for 10 days, you're going to see a reduction in your waist circumference. Why? Because that product goes a long way to cleanse your intestines, cleanse your colon, and then reduces and removes all the intestinal sludge that is found in your system. At the end of the day, you start feeling much more lighter, and you realize that you can do the things that you could not do before. Like you can eat and then your food gets digested. You can eat and then you really feel full. Like now I have a lot of people who take the products, and most people are complaining to me, I don't eat the way I used to eat. And I'm like, it is normal because you have been able to debunk the toxins that are found in your system, because toxins also are another reason why a lot of us have not been able to get rid of the baby fat or of the stomach fat. So that is the first product that we have, which is called polyphenol fiber. So it's just a natural product of polyphenols. Polyphenols is a combination of natural things that have been put together. And then you have fibers too. They have been joined together to formulate that box of tea, which is a 10-day product that you take every night. So every night for 10 days. And after 10 days, you can be able to attest that you have a very clean system. And detoxification is mostly being required every after 2 months or every after 3 months. It depends on the individuals, and it depends on how exposed you are to toxins, because biology says that we are exposed to at least 700,000 toxins every day. Every human being is exposed to that. Then we have this other product that we propose to people, which is called the Jesus Fit. Jesus Fit simply means get in shape and stay fit. And how does this product work? This product is not a slimming tea. It is an all-natural product that actually helps you to target the underlying causes of weight gain that you have found yourself with time. You have things like overeating. Overeating is actually one of the causes of weight gain. You have things like constipation. You have things like slow metabolism. You have things like toxin overload in the system. You also have things like inflammations. You have things like bad sleep. Of course, when you sleep badly, it is very difficult for you to be able to have a healthy and fit body because your metabolism does not work properly. So this tea actually goes a long way to be able to regulate those causes in your body and then make you to begin to function in a normal way. When it targets a slow metabolism, you're going to realize that the way your metabolism starts reacting to maybe digestion or maybe food intake is going to be different. And if your metabolism is working properly, then be rest assured that you're going to have a fit and a healthy body. And I want to say that fitness is not about you being very slim, but fitness is about you having the required body mass index that you actually have to have as an individual. So it varies from person to person. So those are the two products that we recommend under healthy drinking. And also under exercise, we have this spot where we cannot be able to, to run away from, because a lot of people don't like to do exercise. They're like, okay, exercise for athletes, exercise. I don't like exercise. But the truth is that exercise has a lot of benefits which cannot be overemphasized. And so we always propose that people do exercise. Now, when we talk about exercise, a lot of people feel that it's like from running from maybe Yaoundé to Bankomo. That's what they call exercise. But running from Oya to Douala, that's what they call exercise. But that's not exactly what exercise is. Exercise is just being able to exercise to make your muscles much more flexible so that you can be able to use the energy that you have put into your body. Let that energy get spent and you can be able to do exercise for 30 minutes and it's very effective. Now, people might be asking the question of how do you do the exercise? Can you do exercise every day or can I do exercise for 1 hour? Now, you can do exercise every day, but the minimum amount that is given out for exercise is 30 minutes. I know I'm going to be shaking a lot of tables, especially for people who own gyms and they say, okay, it's supposed to be 1 hour, 30 minutes. But seriously, if you must do your exercise the right way, please, it is 30 minutes recommended by the medical field, 30 minutes. So we have those three things that we propose. We have exercise, we have the place of your healthy eating, and we have the place of your healthy drinking. And then we have those two products that we help people to lose weight if you actually have a problem, either with your tummy area or with your entire body mass. And then we also give you kits of targeted exercise. Some people say they want to lose only their arms. We know the kind of exercises we can give you so that your arms could go. Some people say it's their laps. We know what to give you so that you can be able to work on it and then you have normal laps. If it's your tummy, you're going to take the products, but then while you're taking the products, remember that you are eating healthy and also you're doing exercise. So in essence, why did I explain all of this? I said all of this to say this. You can't be able to lose weight just by doing one of the things. All of them are intertwined together. Healthy eating, healthy drinking, and exercise are married to each other when it comes to nutrition, health, and fitness.
Amazing. I love it. So my next question would be, where can we find these products?
Okay. All right. We can find these products in every town because normally when we want to get products across to people, we send them through agencies. And also we have some people in some particular towns that we send products to from time to time so that if a client in that town really needs the product, they can get there and get it. But when the product is not available in different towns, we always send the product directly to the client. But our base is right here in Yaoundé at Tekasi. So if you need the products, we are in Yaoundé at Tekasi. And that's where you can get the products from.
Lovely. Do you send them out of the country? Are you already exporting for those who might be out here and are interested in getting them?
Okay, we are not already exporting like in large scale, but what happens is we have clients who are out of Cameroon who are not here. We always get someone who is actually traveling to send the products across to them. So it happens that when I get a client who is driving in the US, in the UK, or in a different country, we always get someone who is traveling so that they pick up the person's products and take them there. But hopefully we are thinking about us actually exporting the products to at least 2 different countries so that it's going to make it easy because our clientele base is not only in Cameroon. We have clients on our forums who are out of Cameroon.
Mm. That's amazing. That would be nice. When you start sending them out there, definitely let me know, because I definitely want to be the person. I would love to get some of them, but also I think it might be just nice. So if someone is here and they don't have anybody who's going to Cameroon, for example.
Volume, I can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now? Is it?
I can't hear you.
Oh. Is it better now?
Yes, but very slightly.
Okay. It must be the network. I'll just increase my volume to the max. Is this better?
I can't hear you.
I think it's the network.
What's happening?
Yeah, it's the network. Well, can you hear me now?
No, I can't hear you.
Having
I'll
a hard
just need to
time.
come closer to my phone so I can hear you.
Okay. I will do same. I've maxed out my volume. I think this is the network. What I was saying is, it would be lovely. It would be nice to know, if I don't have anybody going to Cameroon, for example, and coming back, who could bring these things to me. Is there a way to place the orders first, and then you give us time, some specific amount of time to wait to get the products?
Okay, like, do you need to place your order and then we give you time?
Yes.
You don't necessarily need to place an order. The products are always available. So whenever you want the products, you just say, okay, I need the products. And then we get someone, and that's it.
Okay.
The products are, we produce the products every day. They are available.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know, because I definitely would like to have some. and maybe give some to a couple of friends, so we can definitely try some and cleanse our bodies in the process. So what advice would you give to young girls who are struggling, who don't have anything going in Cameroon right now, and who are looking for a way to sustain themselves and maybe their families?
Okay, the advice I'm going to give to every young girl who right now does not have anything doing and is struggling to sustain themselves, I'm going to advise you to find your passion. Find what you love doing, because what I do is a passion and nothing can take me off the hook. Why? Because I'm so passionate about what I do. No matter what kind of business idea you bring before me, I don't turn to look at it, because my passion is all invested in one particular place. So I'm going to first of all advise you to find your passion. What is that thing that you can actually do without anybody pushing you around? What is that thing that you can actually do without the challenges of life actually wheeling you away from it? What is that thing that you feel happy doing even when things around you are not going fine? So when you discover what that thing is, you're going to pick that thing and then tell yourself that the next thing I have to do is start. Now, starting does not really need money. You don't need money, first of all, to start. It's true that we live in a world now where everybody is like, okay, I have to start with 1 million, I have to start with 2 million. But I can tell you that in my 7 years of doing business, I started my business with 35,000 francs CFA. 35,000 francs CFA. So you don't need a lot of money to start. Ask yourself that, is this my passion? Have I found it, or do I really love this? And if I love this, even if I have 5,000, I can be able to do something to start this. Once you start it and you have a passion about it, I can assure you that you're going to go far. You're going to run so fast, even than the challenges. You will even forget that you don't really have money. Because once you embark on this journey, you realize that money begins to come in. And at some point, it's like, hey, how did I get here? You always take some time out to ask yourself, how did I get here? So the first thing is your passion. Look for your passion. Second thing, tell yourself, I need to start. And while you're starting, remember that there are always obstacles, but obstacles are always a staircase to where you want to get to. Look at obstacles like a staircase. Don't get discouraged. Don't look at your environment, because your environment can discourage you from actually starting. The fact that you say you don't have 1 million can actually discourage you from starting. People around you might not believe in you. And then when you have started, the next thing that you have to do is that begin to believe in yourself and show more belief in what you do. Why did I say believe in yourself and show more belief in what you do? Now, the truth about it is that the people that you expect to support you, who are your brothers and your sisters or your close friends, are never going to support you. I'm saying this from experience, from a very long time experience, and that has been able to build my tenacity on whatever I do. Those people are not the ones that are going to support you. Tell yourself that there are 7 billion people on the surface of the earth. I don't know if the people have been added up, because people are being born every other day, but you can be able to get people away from those who are close to you. Those are the people that are going to take you serious. Those are the people that are actually going to patronize you. Those are the people that are going to make you to lift your head from one stage to another. It's not your family, it's not your direct friends, it's not your Facebook friends that are going to lift you, in as much as they are important in your life. But please don't place a lot of attention on them. Don't place too much expectation on them, because a lot of people start business and they're like, my friend did not support me. You hear a lot of things like, support your own. Why are you not supporting me and you're my friend? No, you don't need to look at that. Look past that and tell yourself that I keep moving. I have to get the people who are assigned to this particular business, because it's not about your business is not about everybody. Not everybody needs your service. And make sure that nobody ever buys from you because they're actually pitying you. They need to need what you sell for them to be able to buy. That's when you know that you're in business. But when people begin to buy from you and it looks like, let me just go and patronize this Vanessa because I'm seeing she's suffering or something. There is a problem. Actually, it means that your belief in yourself has not been able to convict people to a point where they can easily pay for anything that concerns your service. So you have to learn how to believe in yourself, and you must nurture that immediately you start doing the business. How do you believe in yourself? Talk about what you do everywhere. Don't fear to talk about it. Talk about it everywhere. Be creative, be innovative. We live in a world where people want results. People want innovations. People love to say new things. Sit down with yourself. This is my passion. Okay, just because it's a passion doesn't mean that you should not study it. Study the things that are supposed to be able to build that passion, so that by the time you are launching out to different levels, you will be talking from a place of a lot of substantial information, like you have some substantial backing. You're not just going to sell to people, or you're not just going to show yourself to people because maybe you're doing a particular business, but then you have a mastery. And then the last thing that I'm going to advise you, who has already started and believed in yourself, is that you're going to stay tuned on this thing we call consistency. Now, after you focus, please be consistent. It's very easy to start a business, but I can tell you that you need the staying power to stand on whatever you do. I've been running with my business for 7 years non-stop, and there is no single day I did not post about it on Facebook, regardless of the likes, regardless of the people who actually saw my post. I don't care about that. I just keep going because I know that the right people that have to locate me will definitely not comment directly under my post, but I have a lot of people that meet me at the background, and I am able to make way at what I do. So you're going to stay consistent. Consistency is actually a sign that you believe in what you do. Stay consistent in that passion that you have caught. Whatever thing you love to do, stay consistent at it. Is it plaiting hair? Stay consistent at it. Is it actually cooking food? Stay consistent at it. Is it actually transporting people? Stay consistent at it. And please do it with diligence. Do it with diligence. There's this say, don't do it for the money only. Do it actually because you are solving a problem. Have a mentality of, I am solving a problem. Be a problem solver. It's not all about the money. Now, when you begin to solve problems for people, automatically you are generating impact. And when there is impact, your money comes with no stress. So that's my very little advice to every woman or to every girl out there who has been trying to start off a business and could not start. These are the things that you can be able to do. Develop your passion. From there, you move to the other points that I just listed. And the last thing, you stay consistent on your game.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I concur with you completely. Being in business, those are the things that matter. Your passion is what is going to take you through the rough times.
Exactly.
And consistency is what proves to the world that you're serious about your stuff.
Yeah.
And not everyone is your customer, just like you said. Not everyone is your customer, and there's no reason being hurt when people don't. They're just not your customer, and so maybe you're not focusing on the right people. Maybe you're not focusing on the right people. If all around you're putting things out and nobody is being interested in, nobody is buying, you need to start asking yourself, like, who am I trying to sell this to? Or you flip it the other way around, like, who needs this kind of service? When you see yourself as the problem solver, just like you said, and you serve, you have the server mentality. I am here to serve. Then people will see your genuine, your authenticity, and they would invite more people in. And before you know, like you said, the money is gonna start trickling in. But it's not only the money, it's happy people you're leaving behind. And happy people always come back for more.
That's true.
Yeah, so this is amazing. I absolutely love all the gems you've dropped here. We all need to hear that. And we, especially us who are in business, we need to hear that on a daily basis. Yeah. Because every day is different. Some day you wake up and it feels like the whole world, like everything that could go wrong is going wrong. You know,
that's true.
from 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. all the way to like 9 p.m. It's just trouble. And that's when your passion is so important, because that's the one that's going to take you through that day to realize that this was just one day and I'm still alive, you know.
Yeah.
It was just one bad day. There's still lots and lots ahead of me. This doesn't have to end my dream. It doesn't have to demoralize me or completely just handicap me, you know. So I love the gems you've dropped here. I really love it.
Thank you.
And I love your hairdo, girl. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
I love it. Because you came close, I was able to really see. It is banging. I love it.
Thank you. I love yours too.
Thank you. The locks, the blonde locks. Yay, girl. I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh, there's just so much that's happening. When you were talking about getting the right, like a balanced diet, I started thinking about the keto movement, where I've tried everything under the sun. Keto, paleo, name it, I have tried it. And the one thing that really worked well for me is the keto diet, because every time I go on the keto diet, I do lose quite some. And I am able to maintain it sort of like I keep bouncing 1, 2, 1, 2 from then. But the thing with keto is I just cannot bring myself to do it for longer than 2 weeks, because it's just too extreme. I love carbs. I'm a carb girl. I love breads. I love cassava, yams, potato. I want to see all of those things in my food. Full corn flour, what have you. Once it's rich in carbs, that's my thing. And I find it especially hard being on the keto diet. So I can only do 2 weeks of that, and then I have to go back to my normal routine. So you did mention that it's not good to isolate certain things out of your diet completely. So what would you recommend for those who are on a keto diet and they've completely taken out carbs, or the heavy carbs? Not like they've taken all the carbs out, but the big ones.
Yeah.
So
okay.
what?
All right. Okay, for everyone who is on a keto diet and who actually wants to get a bit below the extremity of the diet, what you need to do is you might not eat the carbs every day, because carbohydrates is a very larger portion of our energy source. Yeah. So you might not eat the carbohydrates every day, but you're going to be able to pick days where you can eat that, or eat them in very little proportions if you really must follow it with the keto diet. Because I know that the keto diet is trying to turn your body into a fat burning machine. Instead of a carb burning machine. Now, originally, your body has been designed to be a carb burning machine and not a fat burning machine. So that is why the diet is very extreme. You get a lot of times you're not supposed to eat carbohydrates, and carbohydrates is the main source of energy. But now if you're in keto and you really love to do keto, one of the things that you can do is that you can limit your carbohydrate quantities once in a while. Let's say, for example, you have a 1 week plan where you're not eating carbohydrates at all. You can tell yourself that maybe you're going to eat that 3 times a week. That will be fine. If the diet is still going to work and it's going to go at a normal pace than the pace where if you do not eat the carbohydrates at all, you're going to have different results, but you're still going to have the results. So eating the carbohydrates 3 times a week is going to help you. For you who loves carbs, because food deprivation is one of the things that a lot of us cannot deal with. When I tell my clients not to eat particular things, I used to do that a lot. And I realized that most of my clients will go get biscuits and they'll call me on a video call and be showing me that, coach, this is what I'm taking. Can I eat this? And I realized that it's because I've deprived this person of this. So I started learning how to give people their space. Like, okay, you can eat this, but this is the quantity you should eat. Because when you get to a point of food deprivation, I can tell you that the day that you fall, it's like you should never go back to that diet. It's like you should never go back to the diet. You'll be like, okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to start again tomorrow. And you're going to realize that you're going to keep starting all over and all over and all over, which is very dangerous for your metabolism. It's very dangerous for your body. People who start weight loss journeys and stop after 1 week because they fell after 1 week and they have to come back to it to start from scratch, you are damaging your system. At some point in time, you begin to do those things and nothing works. Your body just stands still. That's when you come to a weight loss plateau. So weight loss plateaus are being caused by the rampant statins and seizures of you trying to indulge in a weight loss procedure and you do not properly finish it. So I'll advise you, if you're on a keto diet, please, and you feel that you're being deprived from carbohydrates, you can say, I'm going to eat this 3 times a week, but I'm going to eat it in very little portions. But you're going to have the results, but not like the normal results that you're going to have. And of course, even if you have the results and it's not like the normal pace, weight loss is a journey. It's a lifetime thing for you who is on that journey. You never stop embarking yourself on that journey, because after the weight loss, that's what we call maintenance. Yeah, so at the point of maintenance, you're still maintaining your weight and you're still trying to eat in a very more careful way, just so that weight should be maintained. So there's no point rushing and saying that I want to lose 10 kilos in 1 week. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
1.25 kilos in a week is very ideal for everyone who is trying to lose weight.
Like, I do see that. So I had this conversation with one of my friends, and they were doing this diet that was supposed to help them lose 10 pounds in 1 week. And so I was asking, like, oh, is that fat just sitting there waiting to be dropped out? Like, how it seems more like you're dehydrating yourself than you are losing any weight. So there's that confusion between what your water weight in your body and losing all of this, harming your body and thinking that you're actually losing fat.
Yeah, and that's true.
Yeah, so that was quite funny. So she told me this thing really works. It really works. I'm like, girl, go do it. This one is not for me because it doesn't even sound realistic. Like, there's no way you lose 10 pounds of fat in 1 week.
No
way. Wait, how does that even happen? Yeah.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. You might be losing your water weight and you're thinking that you're actually losing weight,
Yes.
but you're not losing anything because your skill still remains the same.
It remains the same. It's like after that, when you go, because obviously after losing the water, your body is going to be craving for more. And then you drink even more water. And then the next week you climb up there, everything is back to normal. I'm like, that doesn't even make any sense whatsoever.
Exactly.
But yeah, it is so amazing to hear you give us all of this. I know your clients will pay you tons for this information, and you are giving that to us for free. I thank you so much for your kindness, for your authenticity. I would, if I were in Cameroon, seriously, you would be my coach. Like you would be my coach. We will be walking together, literally.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you so much for all that you do. And I really love the fact that you have a restaurant that you're running and you are farming your own things. You are catering to your own supply, and you're gonna start supplying other people too. That is really fascinating. It's a huge jump. It's huge growth. And I would love to have you sometime over here again, so we can follow up on what's happening when you start supplying other people in bulk. Let us know so we can blast it out and let everybody know what you're doing. I'm really inspired by your story. The last question I have for you would be, how do you balance business and your private life, being a woman?
All right. How do I balance business and my private life? Wow, that's a tough one, a very tough question. Because generally it's I can say it's slightly difficult to separate me from my business. Because as an entrepreneur, I don't follow the normal routine time. I have my hours of work, and sometimes I find out that I'm running probably like from midday till 10 p.m. at night. And that has actually made me to be glued to the business. It's like you can't separate Vanessa from her business. But that notwithstanding, I still find out time to separate myself once in a while from what I do, so that I could be able to reconnect with my environment and reconnect with my friends and reconnect with people. So I make sure that I'm either checking on one person or checking on this other person so that I don't get lost in the process. You know that when you're I can say I'm obsessed with what I do. Let me put it that way in clear terms. So when you're so glued to what you do, sometimes you tend to feel that, oh, I'm the only person in this world. It makes you to feel that because you want to succeed at it. So everything is like, this thing, I have to succeed at this particular thing. So every other thing around me, no, I don't really pay too much attention to those things, but I make sure that every week I find out time to reconnect with my environment, which is very important, because if I don't reconnect with my environment, at the end of the day, I'm doing all of this for nobody. And the truth is that you have to live for something that is going to impact somebody, not only the people who are your clients, but even your direct environment. So I find out time to reconnect once in a while. Every week, I make sure that I do that. I reconnect with a lot of people, probably during the weekends, and my only free day is Sunday. So that's on Sunday. That's when I have the time to chat with people, to text people back, the people who wrote me within the week, and then find out how they are doing, and then we reconnect. And of course, hang out when I have the chance to.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Self-care is very important. We humans are social beings, and we cannot survive without that community around. And so it doesn't matter how hard and how successful we are. Later on, when we are done and it's grown,
that's true.
And we'll be like, okay, where are the friends? Where are all the friends? Where the friends are? And it's like, okay, there's no friend. I have to figure life now, working on my own. That's it. That's very important that we find the balance. That balance is very important. Yes. So do you work for your restaurant? Do you have it open from Monday to Saturday?
Okay, for my restaurant is open from Monday to Saturday, and there are exceptional Sundays that they are being opened.
Okay.
Like we have Monday to Saturday open from 12 noon till 8 p.m. every day. Then there are some Sundays that we try to look at the needs of those who could not come through during the week. Because a lot of people say, okay, I'll be there on Sunday. I don't really have time now. Are you guys open on Sunday? So we look at the demand of the people that have been asking to come on Sunday. And once in a while, we throw out an open door on a Sunday after church. And we say, okay, we are opened. And then we have the clients that want to come and get the snails. And I believe that most of them who actually buy their snails on Sunday are actually satisfied.
That's amazing.
So from Monday to Sunday, we open 12 noon to 8 p.m. every day. Monday to Saturday, sorry. And then on Sunday, exceptional Sundays. And that is on our discretion. Like when we look at maybe the demand of people who have been asking, do you sell on Sunday? We just come up and say, okay, this Sunday, let us open so that we can be able to also satisfy those who don't really have the time to come and eat, and who don't even have, who are not even nearby. Because the reason why most of them ask to come on Sundays is because they are not living around the environment where the restaurant is found. And we cannot deliver to them in their various destinations because their places are super far.
Yeah.
So with the traffic and everything, because we say, okay, if you have to place an order, you have to place an order in between 8 a.m. to 12 noon, so that even if we're taking your orders out, someone can still stay back at the restaurant so that it is open for every other person who wants to come and eat on ground. So after 12 noon, orders that are being given are the ones that are just around the neighborhood, which are not too far.
Yeah, that's amazing. I didn't know that you deliver, so that's a good thing. Everyone who's watching, they deliver. Okay, so if you are in Yaoundé, you need to find out exactly where the restaurant is, and let's support our sister's business. But not only that, snails are yummy. Just for the mere fact that snails are yummy and everyone needs to eat, and they are low in their calorific value. So you will be eating well, taking care of your fiber too, right?
Yeah.
And without the excess calories. So I know I said a while ago that was my last question. As we talk, I keep on having questions coming up from my conversation. So with the dishes that you cook, is it like just a specific kind of way to do snails, or do you have several dishes that you use snails in?
Okay, I don't have several dishes that I cook snails in. The restaurant is called Maison d'Escargot.
There you
which
go.
is to say that we sell just the snail sauce, which is already made and with fries or with rice. Yeah, so we don't, it's not like we sell arrow with snails or fufu with snail. We sell just snail sauce and the fries, and you have natural juice. So if you're coming to Maison d'Escargot, the only thing that you find there is snails. Now, like a wellness coach, the truth is that I cook meals for people, but I do weekly meals for them. Because when I establish their meal plans, some of them have to pay me for me to be able to prepare their meals and go give them. But that is being done weekly, and it's being done for them like at once. Like I don't do it every day. So it's not an everyday thing. So when you come to my restaurant, the only thing that you're going to find handy is snail sauce with plantains or with fried potato or with rice.
Nice. I love it. I love how just specialized you are. I love it. Because that's how you become an expert in what you're doing.
You do, yeah.
And the go-to person when it comes to snails. Girl, hail the queen. All hail the queen. Thank you so much for your time, sister. I absolutely loved talking with you. I loved learning from you. And I hope everyone who's watching and everyone who's going to watch later on, if you joined it late, definitely go back all the way to the beginning. You will thank me for it later on. And if you're one of those people who is looking to start a business, you should also go start from the very beginning, because Vanessa dropped a ton of valuable information, business information, what to do, what not to do, and just told us her story, how she grew. So you would benefit from that a lot by going and starting from the very beginning. So thank you, sister. Thank you, sister.
Thank you very much. Thanks so much.
It was amazing talking with you. And I hope you can join us again sometime soon. Let us
Yes, I'll be
know.
joining you sometime soon on your invitation.
Yes, 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 yes. When there's any major thing happening, definitely let us know. Send us a tip. We will be there, and we would have one of these Zooms again for us to celebrate you and for people to learn about all you're doing.
Thank you. I'm
Thank
honored.
you.
Thanks so
Thank you so
much.
much. And we wish you all the best in your business endeavors. May it grow and grow and grow and grow and grow beyond even your wildest dreams. And
Amen.
yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Thanks so much.
Keep doing your thing, sister. Take care and have a great week.
All right. Take care too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
So thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Definitely go and follow Vanessa Bejanga's page. Follow her page. Follow what she's doing. Just get updates from her business. From yeah, and if you're looking for snails, definitely. If you know someone who probably needs a supplier, you should contact her, because sometimes these things, the need is for later on, but you can start establishing the relationships like right now. So definitely contact her, write her. If you need something like this, if you're organizing a party and you need catering, definitely contact our sister. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you were as inspired as I was. Definitely keep the dream up. And you know how we do this thing. At the end of the day, you are special, you are beautiful, you are unique, you are special just the way God made you. There was no mistake when He made you. You have something to contribute. Never, ever let anybody tell you you cannot. Never, ever, even if they tell you, never, ever let yourself believe any of that rubbish. You can do something with your life and you can succeed at it. You just need to dig deep down and find out what it is you're passionate about. And passion is not all. Like our sister said, you have to work. You have to train yourself. You have to make your craft better. You don't, passion is just passion. It's going to take you through, but to stand out, to be excellent in whatever you do, you have to put in the work. And putting in the work means you have to read, you have to study, you have to get certifications, you have to train, you have to do all of that and do it at your own time. Don't rush. Start small and grow gently. Don't be in a rush. This is a journey. But we strongly and firmly believe in all of you. You can do it. Thank you so much for your time and God bless. Bye, everyone.